All right, here I am. I am reporting live from the southern tip of Baja California in Los Cabos, Mexico. So, hello and welcome to the show. This is White Noise with Eric and Zach. But you may be asking, where's Rick? Where is that silent partner that we have that is Rick? Uh, he's he actually had a broken sink apparently. So that's what he's dealing with today, unfortunately. But you got us too, and we're going to walk you through another episode here of a wonderful episode, a bigly huge, fantastic episode.
Huge news, incredible news.
We got big news coming from Cabo. Yeah, your boy, me, Eric. We went to Cabo, Kaylee, my girlfriend, and she's gonna come back a fiance. So that's big news. Oh, can you hear that in the background?
Oh, no
Okay,
background noise. No
good deal.
background noise. Was she screaming and cheering again? 'Cause she's so excited to fucking marry you.
No, not that time. It sounded like a Barry saxophone. I think it was a air brake on a semi. But anyway,
Good.
but yeah, so I proposed to her yesterday at the resort, and she said yes. So that's why this is a happier podcast, and and she's still hanging out with me. But yeah, so I think that's the biggest news I think I can break now. Um, and it's been a long time coming, I think, but I was able to ask the question, and it was a surprise. It definitely caught her off guard a little bit in a good way, but she was fully prepared to say yes. So yeah, so that's kind of what happened, and that's so I'm really excited about that, and I know she is too. So that's the story I have. So I don't know.
Dude, okay, so I mean, yeah, I guess first of all, RIP to Rick. Goddamn, that pray for our boy Rick also. He's having a hell of a time. Yeah, a busted ass sink. He destroyed his snowblower. Well, I don't know, like everything is fucked. So yeah, pray for our boy Rick to whatever god it is you pray to. But the more pressing matter at hand, yeah, big E Dog, huge, like that fucking rocks. And I just want to like, I just from like an outsider's perspective, right? And for anyone listening now who doesn't know, who wants to celebrate with us, like I just want to say, like from an outsider's perspective, like your girl, I've only hung out with you together like a couple of times, right? And your girlfriend has always just been like she's fantastic and she's been just fucking stupid for you, bro. Like it's one of those it's one of those relationships where you look at it and like I just go like this is fucking disgusting. I love it. Like it's always been awesome. And like I think there's a thing too where again for anyone who doesn't know, God, I would have met you would have been like fucking 12 or some shit. I don't know. Not literally
Yeah.
12, but like it was a
No,
long
literally.
time ago.
Literally, I was
Oh
12 when
God,
we met.
seriously? Motherfucker. I'm gonna go turn to dust right now. I'm just gonna walk away and turn into dust. So Eric would have been literally 12, and I would have watched you grow up from like always just this goofy kid playing football and like just being around your family a whole bunch and basically like like forcing and wedging myself to be part of your family at this point. Like it's just kind of fucking cool. Like it's kind of cool from that perspective. Now that like you're a fucking like fully formed human being, like it's yeah, you're a fully formed real person now, and it's super fucking cool to see that happen and like to get here. Like I'm fucking hyped for you guys for real. So I do want to know though. I want some whatever details you're willing to give on kind of uh like your feelings leading up to this moment, kind of what you had planned versus what actually happened. Because I know when I proposed to my wife, what I had planned was absolutely not even close to what actually happened. So yeah, like give us Give us some of those details.
For sure, absolutely. And thank you for saying that. Yeah, that means a lot coming from you, Zach. So I appreciate that. And I would agree. Yeah, she is a one of a kind lady. So I'm glad that I for sure secured it this time. So, but no, yeah, the details leading up to it were so there are some things that happened in this journey that is the ring in itself, that we can dive into here. So first of all, I knew that I was gonna probably marry her. The probably, and this is as cheesy as it sounds, but it's true because I told people, so it's on record. The second I met her, probably, and I told my sister, I was like, "Yeah, this one's the one. If she's not the one, then there's not a one out there." So, so that's
Hell
kind of how
yeah.
that worked. And and then through some ebbs and flows in life and things like that, we finally were able to start a relationship, and this is now we're at that point. And so that's just kind of some background here. But when things started getting more serious, and that conversation started to happen as far as you know we started talking about marriage and kids and things like that. We found out a plan. We know what the plan is now. And then we went ring shopping, and we kind of, because my whole idea is, she's going to be the one wearing it forever, hopefully. And so she should
Ideally,
kind of,
yes.
right. And so she should kind of have, first dibs as to what the ring should look like, and all that good stuff. So this is not to say that she didn't know what the ring may look like. This is a formed ring idea on her end. So I knew kind of, she guided me enough to know that I wasn't going to screw up bigly. So I got the ring. um, but so I knew what the ring was basically. And so flash forward to October of this year. I kind of was fibbing to her. I said, I can't sell my stock for my job until next year. We got to push this off until the end of next year, maybe. Just that's just the way the economy is going. Blah blah blah. But in my mind, I'm like, okay, I know what I'm going to do. This is the way I'm going to purchase it. This is where I'm going to have it shipped. So basically, I bought it in October, and it took some time, to get it manufactured and put together and things like that. But then I had it sent to my brother's house, Rick, and so she wouldn't obviously find it in the mail before I could get to it. And so it was sent to his house, and this was happened on November 14th. It was finally delivered, and the dates here matter, folks. So just bear with me.
We're
So
getting in deep, getting in the mud.
yeah, so November 14th of this year, the ring was delivered at Rick's, and I drove to Rick's, and I told Kaylee, "Oh, I got to help, Rick with some things at his house." And and she was like, "Oh, okay, yeah." Didn't really care, so I went there, got the ring, was pretty excited about it, and I brought it home. And when I brought it home, I put it right in my other vehicle that's at my house, just in the glove box, kind of hid it a little bit, and that was going to be my hiding place because nobody goes in there. It's going to be perfect. And then the next day, November 15th, I get and she might not like this story being told, but I get a picture. I get a picture sent to me with her wearing what I thought at the time was the ring. And she just sent the picture, as cryptic as it sounds. And I go, I don't know if I told the story in the podcast or not yet, but probably not.
I don't think
But
you have.
okay. So she sends me this picture, and I'm at the gym, and I'm just got there. So I'm like ready. I'm like pumped up, like I'm ready to go. And all that did was just like allocate to pistivity. Like I was so pissed off. I was like, now it's just a bill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
so so I text her. I said, "What is that?" And she goes, "You tell me," kind of with like a winky face or something. So I'm like, "This lady found it already. She's wearing it. Like, what's going on?" So I
This
so I call
bitch.
her. Yeah. So I call her, and I'm like, "Kaylee, what is that?" And she goes, "Well, I just bought the ring that we decided to look at. I just bought like a fake one to see if it looks good on my hand or not. Before we like buy it." Because she, at the time, she thought it was going to be a whole year, so she's going to start buying fake ones to see if she likes them or not. And in my head, I'm like, okay, there's a 10% chance here that she's telling the truth, just with the way things are all lining up. So I'm going to reserve my judgment right away. So I drove home, and I'm like, show me the ring that you're talking about. Because I knew, I just checked. It was still in the car, in the driveway. So she didn't have it. She goes, yeah, it's right here. And I go, that's the fake ring. That's a fake ring right there. So, wow. So then in the moment, I was like, I got to think of a plan. Like, why am I so mad right now? You know what I mean? So
The sheer panic. I can
yeah,
imagine just the sheer like I could picture in your head. You're like, yeah, I got my headphones in. I'm gonna bench press. This motherfucker's getting jacked, and all of a sudden, just the immediate like, what the fuck? What is this shit?
oh my god,
Oh,
it
that
was
rocks. That's good.
something out of a like a sitcom or a cartoon or something. Just too good to be fucking,
Oh,
whatever.
you can't write that shit. Yeah, you can't write that shit. That's
No.
perfect.
So, and now I'm like playing it off like, well, I thought maybe you bought the ring and because you thought I couldn't afford it, blah blah blah, so I could start paying you so we could get this done. And she goes, "Fuck no, that's weird. Why the hell would I?" Like, I was like, "See, yeah, that's why I'm mad." Um, and
That's what
so
I said.
yeah. So I think she bought it at the time. I think that it raised a little flag, kind of shot up a flare in the moment, like, why is he so mad? But so I think so that was the only kind of weird thing that happened then. Then that went away. Now it's time to start getting real about it. I know her parents really respect the idea of asking them for permission and things like that. So I went through that whole process. I asked them, "Hey, do you guys want to go for dinner? Don't let Kaylee know, and then I'll let you guys know at the dinner as to why." Then they got there, and then I told them why, and they were really appreciative of the dinner. But then her dad pulls out his phone, and I love the guy, but it was so intimidating. He pulls out the phone, and he has a whole list of pre-ready questions for me,
Oh
and it's just
God.
like, yeah, man. I was like, and her mom,
Oh
to kind of
no.
like calm my nerves, she goes, "What is this, a job interview? Like, just relax." Like, so I think I answered him to his liking because they both approved on it, and that was 5 or 6 days ago today. So obviously the weekend before the big trip. That was a week ago now, actually. Week ago tomorrow. Doesn't matter. Um, and then yeah, so that's that. So I got the approval from the parents, had the ring. Now it's time to travel. So another thing, so we're traveling. We get to TSA Minnesota in MSP, right? And lo and behold, my bag gets pulled. So I'm
Ah, you
like,
get randomly selected.
yeah.
I
And
just,
I'm like,
dude, I just got so like this all these events straight up like we go back there was like an episode a while back where you were talking about, man, they fucked up my haircut and then they fucked up my Subway sandwich and like all this shit happened. Like all of this is all the most Eric shit I've ever heard.
I
Like
know,
only you, bro. Only you.
I know. I fucking know. And that's the only thing that was going through my mind too. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. My bag. Because I saw them, they pulled it. Like they pulled it. Like I'm like going in the scanner. I'm like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? Because Kaylee's right behind me. So if I'm like we'd go through my bag together if she was like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So so I see my bag and I like book it right there. And I'm like, yep, that's my bag. Okay, so what's the problem? And he goes, yeah, they flagged something in here. And I go, and Kaylee wasn't there yet. And I go, I have a surprise engagement ring in there, so it's in my socks. If you can just go ahead and avoid not pulling that out, I'd really appreciate that. But whatever's in there, you can throw away whatever you want. Just don't fucking open that.
Yeah.
And
I don't give a shit. Just
yeah. And then Kaylee's, thank God, if you folks remember back up a couple episodes, she broke her ankle, so she was flagged for that too, for the metal in her leg. So she had to sit down. They had to go through a bunch of stuff. So I
oh
was
God.
it was a miracle. And so it was a bunch of liquids in my bag that I just had too many of them, but they were the same, like good enough size. So he just let me go. So that was TSA, a little heart attack there. Okay, so now we're at the resort. My whole goal first day was to scout it out. I scouted it out. I knew what I was going to do. I wanted to do it at the beach, on the beach, at sunset. Cliche but romantic. And
It's cliche for a reason though. It's cliche for a
yeah,
reason.
yeah. And but we decided to take a nap after lunch, and we overslept. And by the time we got to the beach, it was dark. So that didn't work. And that's all on us because we had a little bit too much margaritas. Um, but
It's vacation, brother.
Yeah. So when we're coming back, there's this really elegant room, and Kaylee noticed it the day we arrived, and it was just a room full of lanterns, and it's very very subtle. It's very like calm. It's peaceful. And she said, "Okay, let's just take a picture in this lantern room. It's a cute room." And then she goes in there and she turns around, and I'm on my knee, and I'm just like, "This is like," in my head, I'm like, "This is it." So,
Okay.
um, This was the second day. She noticed it the first day. The second day after the beach incident, we're walking back from the beach. I'm on my knee. Totally surprised her. She really she liked it. She started crying. And then in the middle of it, she goes, "I have a headache." Oh wait, no, sorry. Keep going. Keep going. What were you saying? So yeah, another Eric thing happened too. Kaylee got a little flu, I think, from something we ate or something. So the next 2 days after that, we couldn't even celebrate. She was in bed. So yeah, but that's his story.
That's you know what though, like I not to sound like an old guy imparting wisdom or some bullshit, because I'm a fucking idiot. Anyone who listens knows this. You've known me long enough, I'm an idiot. But like those are the stories you tell is like is how things got fucked up. So like the short version of mine is basically I was going to ask my wife to marry me like when the ball dropped on New Year's was what it was. Right? Like
Sure.
I had it all set up and I was sitting there in like a hoodie and I had the ring in the hoodie in the front pocket, you know, kind of a thing. And we were in this apartment that had it had a fireplace. So we had the fireplace roaring. It's hot as fuck in there, and I'm wearing a hoodie and I'm sweating balls. And I tell you what, man, like I didn't have like a secondary kind of plan. Like you definitely lucked out having like this nice, beautiful room. Like beach didn't pan out. You know, let's just do this. I just
Yeah.
kind of like I lost all my nerves, and I think I was in a similar spot with you. Like I would have I had zero doubt she was going to say yes. I had zero fucking doubt in my mind. And I still just kind of choked and like chucked. I had this whole thing in my head. I was gonna say all this like nice shit, and I just kind of like
Yeah.
threw the ring box at her, and I was like, "You should marry me." Like I threw it at her like I was throwing a Pokeball at a Pokemon. Like I was trying to fucking I gotta catch them all, some sort of bullshit. And I chucked it at her. I was like, "You should marry me," and she just her first response. She hadn't opened the box yet. She thought it was an empty box. Because she earlier in the day had been joking around about rings or some shit. I forget exactly what she had said, but you know, she was joking around about buying a ring or having a ring box. And she just goes, "You're being an asshole, right?" I was like, "No, open the fucking. There's a ring in there. Open the fucking box." So yeah, mine went all wrong too. But those like that's the shit. Like we still laugh about it, you know, and it just is what it is. But I'm happy to hear that you had kind of a second, like you had a second, a shot at like a nice romantic, pretty thing. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I definitely, like you said, lucked out. Yeah, dude, it's just similar to you though. Like when you plan this shit, like you gotta know it's just not gonna work. Because I had so many things in my head. Like I was gonna make it the best speech anybody's ever, spoke, and
Oh yeah.
and fucking, I blanked out. Like it was like I just saw her face react. I'm like, that's the one I wanted, and I was like, no, I gotta talk. Like I didn't even ask her yet. So
Oh, now I have to do things. Fuck. Dude, that was exact. I had this, yeah, dude, in my head. I just had this beautiful, like it wasn't a lot. It wasn't like a speech. It was like four sentences that I had to knock out. Right. It was like
sure,
if I deliver these four sentences really, really good, and then I can open a ring and I could do all the. No, dude. Yeah, I did none of it. I did 0% of any. All I did was like ball dropped, and I was like, bam. And I think part of the reason I had wanted that was like I had to pull the trigger then. It was going to be a thing where I was like, it's got to happen now. So it would force me kind of to do it instead of just being like, oh, I'll just wait. I'll just wait. I'll make it better. I'll wait, you know,
sure,
because it's
yeah,
just, dude,
yeah,
it's nervous. I don't know, man. I don't like, I'm sure you had the certainty. I mean, shit, like, again, you guys have been together for a while and like, again, you're just stupid together. Like it's just disgusting. It's repulsive. Like so it's just a thing where like I know that you had to know in your heart it was gonna be a yes. Like there was
yeah,
probably like a 0% chance of your vacation going sideways at that point.
yeah, 100%. Yeah,
So you're
uh,
now in Cabo, right? Is that what you had
yes,
said?
yep.
Yeah. So how much longer are you guys gonna party down there then before coming back to Minnesota and doing the rounds?
You know, we're here till Monday, so it's Friday now. We won't get back till really Tuesday morning. So I guess, yeah, we're gonna be here for a while yet. But yeah, I don't know how much. Dude, I'm exhausted, like mentally, like from the stress, the TSA bullshit. Like I'm ready to go home. Um,
Uh,
but now that she's starting to be she's starting to feel better now from the flu and whatnot. So we sat by the pool today, kind of just sat there. She it's just been wearing the ring nonstop, which is nice. Which is nice because you don't want them
yeah,
to not wear the ring, you're right? It's just she's not
right.
embarrassed by it. So I got that going for me.
Good.
Uh, but yeah, so we'll be here, and then Christmas Eve we'll come home and then spend time with my family. Then Christmas Day we'll see her family. Sure, everybody will come, want to see it and whatnot. So yeah,
Oh, it is. Yeah. No, get ready for doing the rounds, dude. It's a thing where yeah, I remember again after I got engaged, it's every family member wants to see it, and then you're going to be bombarded with questions. I mean, you're the story you just told here, you're going to tell it 1,000 times. You're going to tell it to
yeah,
everyone. You're going to tell it to groups, and then you're going to tell it to individuals, and you're like it's. And then you get all there's all the follow up questions like, well, when is the wedding? What do you, and it doesn't matter if you have an answer to any of these because it's going to be, yeah, when's the wedding? When's this? When's that? How are you doing this? How are you doing that? Like, blah blah blah. Yeah, questions about, I mean, you're gonna get questions about like kids like now and you're not even married yet. I mean, it's a
perfect.
thing where dude, yeah, like it gets piled on and but it's fun, man. Like it's you got to enjoy it because it again, ideally you're gonna do this shit one time. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it's it moves fast. Like that's the thing that I realized is like I think it was about a year or it was I guess a little over a year from the time that my wife and I got engaged to when we got married. And it was just a fucking whirlwind, man. It like of planning and all this shit. And then the wedding itself is, it's just it's such a blast and it's so emotional that it just goes so fast. So it's like, yeah. Yeah, it's a ton of fun. And it's fun to settle down, man. Like, I don't know. I fuck with being married. I understand people that don't want to get married, but I fuck with being married. It's
yeah,
good shit.
yeah. I
It's
think
good shit.
I don't know. I don't know if this is what you're referring to when you say that, but I think I'm just fucking. I look at maybe this isn't what you meant, but like even just the idea of a night in staying home, not having to worry about impressing people. And then I look at my friends who are still in the dating pool and they have no, like, dude, I don't know if you've seen it or not, but dating culture now it's terrible. Like
Dude,
it's
I would
absolutely
never.
no. I couldn't do it. I'd probably be I no, I get why people but both my buddies that live with me are just I see what they have to go through, and if you're not fucking checking all the boxes of anything, education, job, height, weight, like you got to be a fucking like you're in the NFL draft at that point, and they're they're the goddamn teams, and there's a combine, and that's the bar, and you can't be too drunk, and you know what I mean?
Oh
So
God. They take you outside, you gotta run a 40-yard dash. You gotta they're
yeah,
right there with their No, dude, that's exactly what I'm talking about though. That's exactly some of the shit is I tell you what, let you in on a secret. I'm not a fucking closer. I was never a closer. I could like I've had like like women that clearly wanted to date me or clearly wanted to just, whatever for a night and like I could never close on any of it. I'm just dog shit at dating. I don't know what it is. And there is this awesome thing where it's like I know like who I'm going home to and she rips. She's badass. And I know who I'm waking up to. And I tell you what, man, like so like my wife and I have been married now. We got married in 2018, so 6 almost 7 years now.
yep,
And like we've just recently again started so Saturday mornings now our thing is like we get up and we go to a coffee shop like we just find one. Like we find a different one that we haven't been to usually, and kind of, or we have a couple that we're kind of like, ah, let's just go. This one's close and it's really good. But like, just like things like that just make me so much more happy than when I used to like, all right, I got to get dapper. I got to smell good. I'm going to shower up and I'm going to be careful how drunk I get. And I'm going to go to the bars and I'm just going to like find someone I think I have half a chance at. And then probably fuck it up because I get too drunk anyway, which was definitely a thing that I did a handful of times, where like you wake up, you're like, oh, she was into me until I had my 19th Morgan and Coke. Fuck,
yeah,
that sucks.
yeah,
Like, you know,
yeah,
no, it is the shit like that. It is the nights in, it is the like the chill vibes. It's uh like just laughing with this person. that just fucking goes nuts for you, even though like all of your flaws and all of your bullshit that you might have. Like it's dude, yeah, yeah. Being married is fucking awesome. I straight up, you know.
Yeah, yeah, and I think even even seeing that from a relationship perspective, because there was a time when I'm not going to say so long ago, but like let's say a year and a half ago, where I was like, God, am I really ready for this? But then looking at like relationships, like let's say yours, yours and Rick's and things like that, where I just see the calmness. There's no like it's just fucking like just better. It's just a better life to live in my and it's not for everybody. Let's not kid ourselves here, but
Mm,
it's like it's all like I knew that was for me. I knew that that's something that I was striving for, and now that I'm at that first step to getting married and things like that, it's a calming feeling because it's like, okay, I got my partner. I'm building a team now, and this is where I want to be, and it's time to, I don't know, gear up for the future instead of like trying to figure out who I am. And then, if I'm still trying to figure out parts of who I am, then that's where I can grow with somebody else, because then we can figure out that within each other. So that's
yeah.
what I'm excited for.
No, absolutely. And dude, like I don't know, there is something too about um I mean, we've talked about plenty of times, like I went back to school and things like that, and I attribute a huge part of that to not only having like, in a very literal sense, I guess, like a financial backing from my wife in the sense that she works and makes money and all that and can support us, but the like having that teammate at your back to know that like, hey, if you decide I want to jump into something head first, I want to really dive in, to have someone at your back like that to go like, yes, you know what, like I will be your safety net here. I will be your support when things get fucked up. Um,
Yeah.
it's awesome. And it's been a thing for me, through school. My wife's been there when I fucked up, and she's been there when I've had my big wins. She was there, straight up saying like, "Hey, like, I remember the talk her and I had. I came home from work one day. I didn't talk to her all night. I just went fucking catatonic. I was so mad. I was so upset with my life. I don't know. This is stuff white people need to hear. This is good content too for anything. Like, dude, all you fucking lonely white dudes out there. It. I was just mad at everything. I was so mad. I had never been that upset. And she like just sat me down before we went to bed. I was like, listen, you can't be like this. You need to make your life better. You're capable of making your life better. And whatever you want to do, like I got you. Like I have your back. It's all good. Just let's just fucking do this because you can't live like this anymore. And having that is so huge. Um, she's been at powerlifting meets and she knows like that's a thing that's huge to me. Like I mean, like for reference, it's a thing. I tear up every time that a meet starts. Like when they play the Star Spangled Banner. Like it's not about patriotism for me. It's just about it's this sign, where I'm like, look, like I'm standing here. I'm not supposed to be standing here, and it's a huge moment for me. So when I've missed big lifts or when I've had performances that are bad, it's a thing too where she's been right there to be like, hey, dude, just be a goldfish, get back in the gym, bust your ass like I know you can do it. Like you can do this, man. And to have things like that for all the big wins, all the big losses, like it's I don't think that there is a man alive and they can lie all they fucking want, man. All the dudes you see on Instagram, all the big successful like alpha dorks, like either they're not as alpha as they're saying or they got a bad motherfucking wife at their back. You know what I'm saying? Like they got a bad woman somewhere at their back that
Yeah.
can do that, and that's I don't know. It's so huge, man. It's different.
Yeah. I mean, you just exactly described that's exactly what everyone is probably looking for, in a relationship and marriage. At least I hope so, because that nailed it, I think, for exactly what I'm looking for. I'm not one to go to powerlifting meets, but but no, yeah, man, that's
I mean,
awesome
but
though that you.
anything, but anything you
Yeah.
do, like anything you decide, whatever your things are, yeah. I think, and again, I've only hung out with you guys a couple times. I don't know your new fiance as well as, um, I'm sure at some point, I'll get to know her better. But from what I do know, like she's just gonna be a bad motherfucker for you. Like
Yeah.
I get that vibe, man. Like I get that vibe. Um, yeah, like you two, I truly see a lot of like what me and my wife have in that, right? Like you guys chuckle like a couple of fucking idiots together, but like I know that you're gonna be badasses for each other, and I think that's exactly what you should look for in a partner for fucking ever. Forever's a long fucking time. So
Yeah, yeah, and I think for anybody who's listening out there, it wasn't for me. It wasn't a the way Zach's describing it. It's not a. I didn't see it right away, and I think that might be an important thing to talk about because I think I had to pull my head out of my ass, as I think maybe a lot of fellas have to do out there because I think they can't. I don't know how to describe this without sounding like an ignorant fool, but like you almost feel like you need to chase ladies all the time. At least I felt that way, before I could settle down. And I know one of my friends, especially, and obviously won't name names, but he's he's been known to say that he's not going to settle until someone's perfect, and like objectively perfect, not perfect to him, not blah blah blah, but he wants his friends to sign off on it. He wants his and this is about physical looks too. So he's like personality out the window, and I kind of want to be like, man, like the whole saying that fate looks fade and things like that, and and you got to personality is huge. Like those things aren't just things people say. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
no, 100%. I 100% agree with that. I mean, and I think it's easy for me to say, I guess, that when that kind of stereotypical shit. Look, I met my wife, we were in like fifth or sixth grade, and I
no, no.
never fucking let go of her. Like mentally or emotionally, man. Um, it's a long story that we don't have to go through because it literally crosses decades of our lives. Um,
Yeah,
but it was for me, um, the last time that my wife and I started dating, so we had dated previously a couple of times. Um, it was a thing where I'm like, no, man, this is fucking it. And I think I got tired of that chase because I wasn't good at it and it wasn't fulfilling to me. It's just not for me. Like I understand the impulse, right? To go out and do that, and a lot of guys that like they really get into doing that and whatever. But I have never felt more. I don't know. I don't want to use the word like power, but like confidence, maybe. Like power in myself to just be like, no, like this is my wife, and I don't give a shit what anyone else thinks. I think she's fucking smoke, like straight up,
yeah.
man. Like, and it's yeah, I don't know, man. Like, it's such a weird thing to sit there and talk about like here, okay, here it is. Here it is. Here's how I can sum this shit up. Have you ever seen the movie Clerks? Like the first one?
I Nah, I don't think so.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic. I think you would dig it. It's a fantastic movie. It's a Jay and Silent Bob joint. So Silent Bob in those old movies, he always has like one fucking thing he says, right? And in a lot of the movies, he's like imparting some wisdom. And so I guess for context in the movie, this guy's kind of going back, oh, like this, this old, my girlfriend that I've dated her before, whatever. Like I really like her, but this new girl, blah, he's kind of going back and forth. And Silent Bob goes up to him towards the end of the movie and just goes, "Look, there are a lot of beautiful women in the world, but not all of them will bring you lasagna at work." And he walks away.
Yeah.
And like, dude, that god damn it, it sums up so much. Like, look, are there women as beautiful as my wife in the world? Sure, probably if I want to look around. But do I give a fuck? No. Because she proverbially brings me lasagna at work. She fulfills everything else too. And like I said, fucking smoke. I don't give a shit what anyone says. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So it's the chase is stupid, I guess is kind of my thought. The chase is stupid. It's not fulfilling.
No, I agree. No, that's perfect. That's a great way to sum it up. Like it means so much with and for those of you out there not legitimately bringing lasagna to work, right? So, um,
Yeah. I mean, if you want to bring me lasagna at work, I'm not going to say no. I
yeah,
fuck with lasagna.
yeah, no kidding. Yeah, yeah. No, I think that's yeah. I think a lot of folks out there probably need to hear that more too, dude. But that's what I'm saying about dating culture, though. I think people lose that nowadays with especially my generation. They don't know. I feel like everyone's lost right now, and they just are trying to fuck each other until they figure it out. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I think
Crudely,
you're
but
right.
that's what I'm.
I mean, yeah, I mean it's crude, it's ham-fisted, but that's what's going on, man. I think it's, and I don't know why. Maybe it's just the internet gives you access to so many different I mean, okay, I straight up, I mean this is a good example, I think, that goes into that dating culture stuff. Is I saw on Instagram like a reel, someone reacting to the fact that, so some pictures, like candid pictures of Sydney Sweeney came out. Okay,
Yeah.
and she's gorgeous by any fucking measure, right? Beautiful human
Mhm.
being, fantastic actress, whatever. And someone had the gall to call her fat,
Right.
to just flatly call her fat. I'm like, look, if she is fat, we are all fucked.
Yeah.
Like if that is a fat person, we're done. We're cooked. And I don't know. I don't, I think maybe the internet has something to do with that, because I think, I definitely saw it in like my era of people, and dating apps and whatever, and you can just kind of go shopping for whoever you want. And I think that's probably just gotten worse and worse. And but I also don't understand the idea of chasing this idea of perfection. It's not there. I mean, I think you can fall in love with a lot of people, sure, and you're going to find a lot of people attractive, but there's eventually going to be one that you got to realize, like, this is the one that you don't fuck up. That's the one that you don't fumble. But if your eyes aren't on that, you're not going to see it. You,
Yeah.
you kind of do have to keep half an eye on the prize of going like, well, settling down, I gotta keep half my mind on looking for those qualities, because bringing someone home from the bar is probably not how you're going to meet your wife. I'm sure it's happened, but it's
Yeah.
probably not necessarily the way.
Yeah. I would say that's rare, if at all. But yeah, I've met some doozies out there, man. I tell you. Um, but
Yeah, it's
um,
different. It's different out there, man.
there's some people that you just don't think. I mean, you got to pinch yourself sometimes. No disrespect to them, but some actually. Um, but I don't know. I don't know. No, I saw that Sydney Sweeney post too, and I saw like somebody reply, like comment on it and say like kind of mid, like, dude, who are
Oh
you?
God,
Who are you
bro.
to say anything?
It's well, and you always, man, I don't know. I try not to be mean, but like this is one time where it's like you go into their pictures and like these motherfuckers are balding, and I can make fun of people for balding 'cause my ass is bald. Like they got thin ass hair and comb overs, and they're talking about like your physique is bad, and like these motherfuckers ain't seen the inside of a gym ever. Definitely don't eat right. None of that shit. It's like, tell you what, man. Like if I want to talk shit about someone's physique, like at least try and maybe be able to back up something, but also like don't talk about people's physiques, especially when
Yeah,
like they're already a very good physique. Like fuck, man.
right, right.
Sydney Sweeney ain't fat. Like she ain't mid.
Yeah,
Like,
no, no. I
you know,
think even on the physique side of things too, like just people, and I'm more guilty of it than I should be, but and this is more saying it to myself, if anything, but if you feel the need to comment on someone's physique, just know that they are 10 times more aware of it than you are. Like anything you have to say about anybody's imperfection, they're aware of it, by the way. In case anybody forgot out there. So
God,
go fuck
I
yourself.
know there's all these, like almost this culture of bros that feel the need, like, well, we should be able to call fat people fat and all this stuff. And it's like, bro, they know. They
Yeah.
know. They look at themselves. You think they're and if they're okay with it, then they're okay with it. And just shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, the idea, I don't know, this is a wild tangent a little bit, but like I look at myself in the mirror and I don't know, like I have a physique that I'm pretty happy with, and that's really all that matters. But I guarantee some people out there would think that I am fat. You know what I mean? And it's like, bro,
Yeah.
I am 205 pounds with visible abs, and I would still be considered fat because they're not, shredded to the bone.
Yeah.
I think it speaks to, like, I think there might be a lot of, with the dudes doing that, maybe there's a ton of insecurities there, and that's why they're chasing down these, the perfect woman, quote unquote, that whatever is in their mind, but you don't find it, man. I truly don't think you find the absolute view of perfection because you're always looking for a flaw that way. You know what I mean? Like you're always keeping your eye out for a flaw, so you don't see all this fucking beauty that's just there in so many people.
Yeah. I mean, if we, I like to say it's common, more common now, but I mean, Seinfeld. If we go back and watch Seinfeld's whole, I mean, the whole show is based upon finding the little imperfections in
God,
women.
yeah.
His whole dating Rolodex in that show is, well, when she coughed when she was naked, I just didn't like it. And I'm like,
Oh
what are
God.
you talking about?
Well, and this is coming from like fucking George Costanza, who just like is unemployed for like fully like a third of the show, like a third of this, and he's just a short like balding dude. It's like, oh God damn it, like
Yeah, yeah. But
who
this
knew?
is this
Who
is
knew that everyone would turn into him?
who? Yeah, absolutely. That's a fucking good point. Who would have thunk? Jesus Christ. Yikes.
Yeah, man.
Well, maybe on that note, we
Yeah,
can.
don't be a George Costanza.
Yeah,
That's the
if
note.
you're starting to fucking be short and angry all the time, maybe watch Curb Your Enthusiasm instead. I don't know, but
Yeah, switch it up. Watch a different show from a different like Jewish guy. It's good stuff. No, yeah, no, you got. I almost wish we did uh video scope did video because you had this beautiful sunset going behind you this whole time, and now it's like dark and I see like little city skyline in the background. Yeah, it's a good shot. It's a good shot.
yeah. I kind of wish we did video too. One day, one day.
Well, one day we'll get this right. We'll figure this shit out. But
Yeah.
no, no, man. My only closing thoughts. Uh, No, like I said, fucking like huge congrats. It's fucking awesome. Love you guys to death. Like I'm super super happy for you guys. I hope the rest of your vacation like absolutely fucking bangs. Like hope she give you like go out and see some sights. Like we go do like stop to eat, hydrate, stay hydrated. Like do all that.
Yeah.
No, I'm hyped for like next time that I can see you guys in person. Like I'm fucking pumped for you guys for real.
Thank you so much, Zach. I appreciate that. It means a lot. Alrighty. Well, we'll talk to you guys later, and thanks for stopping in.
Hell yeah.